Yo, what's up guys, my name is Hakiii and welcome to a new video here on the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys the 5 best off-road vehicles to use in GTA 5 Online. I personally love going off-roading in GTA Online. It could be a really good time with friends, like if you create a specific route to go through and stuff. It's actually one of my favorite things to do in online nowadays. I highly recommend you guys do it. I think off-roading is super underrated. You could definitely have a really good time with friends. And as I said in this video, I'm going to show you, in my opinion, the 5 best off-road vehicles you guys can take with you. Now, if you go on to enjoy this video and it goes on to help you out, take a second to drop a like. Also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a sub, join the Hakiii army, because you do not want to miss any more videos like these. Help us get to 60,000 subs, that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell as well. Anyway though, let's get straight into it. Alright, now coming in at number 5 is the Evron. The first thing you notice when you look at the Evron is the huge wheels. These big wheels can actually be a good and a bad thing. These wheels can be a good thing because you can actually go over obstacles and little bumps pretty easily with this. But on the flip side, because the structure of the car is so far off the ground, the wheels can actually get you to flip over quite often. Like if you're going up or down a mountain, you can flip over a good amount. You don't flip over that much, like it doesn't get to a point where you can't stand it whatsoever. But it does happen sometimes because of these big wheels. Now, in terms of performance, it has some really good acceleration. I was really impressed by it. This is definitely one of the best off-road vehicles in terms of acceleration. And it also even has some good speed as well. So climbing mountains, going down mountains, it's going to be fairly fast. And of course, on a regular road as well, it's definitely going to be pretty freaking fast for a truck. Now, it's not going to be as fast as the Camacho or anything because that's just ridiculous, but it definitely has some really good speed and all-around performance as well. Now, let's get into the price. The price of it comes in at $1.475 million, so just under 1.5 million. It does also have a trade price of $1.1 million. Now, I don't really know anyone that actually does trade prices. At least I never do trade prices, so most likely you're going to be looking at the price tag that's just under $1.5 million. Now, the big question obviously, is it actually worth the $1.5 million price tag? And I'm going to say no. I think for what you get, the $1.5 million price tag is not worth it. It's definitely not a bang for your buck whatsoever, but there's always people that have a ton of money in game. So if you do have a ton of money, I do actually suggest you guys get this just because of the uniqueness of the vehicle itself. The huge wheels and the structure of the car looks really cool, I think, and just the overall design of it, like how it looks, I think looks pretty cool. So if you're not sold on the Evron, there's going to be at least one vehicle out of the next ones I'm going to showcase that's going to be the right one for you. So make sure to keep watching because they're just going to get better and better. Now, coming in at number 4 is the Hellion. The thing that stands out with the Hellion is definitely the customization. In my opinion, it has the best customization out of all vehicles on this list. It comes in at a price of $835,000, which I don't think is too high, but it's not ridiculously low for it. I think it's a solid price point. Definitely a better price point than the Evron, especially for what you get with this Hellion. I think that's a solid price. This vehicle has tons of bumper and exhaust options, probably the most bumper and exhaust options I've ever seen on any vehicle in GTA Online. You're definitely not going to have a shortage of options to choose from in LS Customs, to say the least. You also have a ton of fender options. You got some skirts and some grill options. You even have some really cool liveries on this one as well. So even the liveries are cool on this vehicle. It's safe to say there are tons of different options to choose from. And it's not like all these customization options are pretty boring and barely make a difference. They're actually pretty cool and they make a big difference on how the car looks. So you can make this car look several different ways. Now, getting away from this vehicle's awesome customization options, this vehicle has a really cool engine sound as well. I usually don't really pay attention to the engine sound just because a lot of the cars sound the same, but this specific car has a pretty cool engine sound. So in game, definitely give it a go and test the engine sound out. It does sound different from a lot of other trucks, which I like. You don't see that too often. I was also impressed by the handling of the Hellion. I think it has some great handling. It also has similar speed to the Evron as well. Now, all in all, is it worth the $835,000 price tag? I think it does. Even though you have to spend more after on the customization just because the customization is so good, I still think it is worth it. Coming in at number 3 now is the Contender. Not a lot of people have this car or really pay any attention to it. I do think it's pretty underrated. Now, let's start off with the price. The price is as cheap as you can get for any decent truck in game, and it is only $250,000, $250,000. That's just as cheap as you can get for any good truck in GTA 5 Online. Like $250,000 is not a lot at all. It's barely anything, honestly, especially compared to vehicles that release nowadays that you can buy for anywhere from $1 million to like $5 million bucks. So you can probably already tell this price price tag is definitely worth what you're getting with this. The Contender has some great speed, some great handling, some great acceleration as well. It's an all-around good performing truck. It's not going to be the best of the best just because later on in this list you're going to see the best of the best, but performance is not going to let you down, especially for 250k. Now the thing I like about the Contender is actually the looks of it. I think it looks like a good old truck. I definitely say it's more of a realistic looking truck, especially compared to others. So if you're more into like realistic looking trucks so you can have a more realistic type of off-roading in GTA 5 Online, this is definitely the one for you. You can also choose to have a roof in the back of the truck or not. As you can see, I actually chose to just leave it how it is, but you can also choose to have it closed off in the back, like the cab or whatever you want to call it. But overall, is it worth a $250,000 price tag? You probably guessed it. I do think it's 100% worth it. If you're looking for the cheapest one on this list, this is definitely going to be the one. Coming in at number 2 now is going to be the Karakara 4x4. It comes in at a price of $875,000, so just under $900,000. It's not a super high price. I definitely don't think it's a ridiculous price point, but it's definitely not a low one. And let me just start off by saying I love the looks of this truck. It is one of the, if not the best looking truck in the entire game, in my opinion. I guess the back of it looks okay, but definitely the front of it looks amazing. Now it's definitely a little bit lower and closer to the ground than, let's say, the Contender and the Everon, which once again can be a good and a bad thing. I guess it does have more traction, but it's a little bit harder to go over obstacles. But definitely going over hills and all that, it's going to be pretty freaking fast. It has great handling, probably because of the traction, but once again, it is one of the best, if not the best handling truck in my opinion. You feel really in control of this truck, let's say unlike the Everon with the big wheels, just because you can tip yourself over a lot of the time with the Everon. It's not going to happen as often with this one. Also, I like a lot of the liveries that you can put on it. With like the American one, you got like the stripe down the middle and stuff, and it makes it even more beautiful than it already is. And I do think it's just about worth the $875,000. Now coming in at number 1, the most superior truck of all trucks in the game, hands down, it has to be the Camacho. There's really just no debate about this one. This is hands down the best truck in the game. The speed is absolutely ridiculous. It is by far the fastest truck in the game, and it also has great handling, great acceleration. If anyone tells you there's a better performing truck than this in the game, they are straight up lying to you. Like, this is easily the best truck in the game. And the really surprising thing about this is that this is actually the second cheapest truck on this list. Yeah, you heard that right. It comes in at a price of only $345,000. That is a ridiculously good price for what you get. This Camacho is the definition of bang for your buck. It is worth every penny. A lot of people say it's just a cheat code for off-roading. Like, it really is that ridiculous. It's gotten to the point where the community just feels like the truck is doing more than actually you, and people just want to use other trucks to actually give themselves some sort of challenge just because it's so easy, like with the Camacho, to just drive up mountains and stuff. So obviously it's 200% worth the $345,000 price tag. And let me know down below in the comment section which truck is your favorite in the entire game. It could be the Camacho because it's so OP, or it could be something else. But I hope you all did go on to enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to take a second to drop a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn on the notification bell as well. Anyway though, this has been Hakiii. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.